Here at home, the Pietermaritzburg High Court is today expected to hear former President Jacob Zuma's special plea to seek the recusal of the lead state prosecutor, Advocate Billy Downer. Last week, the former president filed a plea under Section 106 1H of the Criminal Procedures Act that the prosecutor has no title to prosecute. It is not yet clear whether the state is in a position to respond to this special plea. Zuma and his co-accused French arms manufacturer Thales will return to court for the long-awaited trial on charges of corruption, fraud, money laundering and racketeering in connection with the controversial arms deal from the 1990s. So to help us unpack Zuma's plea as well as expected developments in court today, we're joined by legal expert Dr. Mkhuseli Vimba. Dr. Vimba, thanks for your time. Welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you so much, and thanks to the viewers.
Dr. Vimba, how crucial are today's court proceedings in determining former President Jacob Zuma's expectation to eventually have his day in court?
It is very crucial in the sense that both parties, that is the defense and the prosecution, will argue their facts for and against today. In which case the judge may decide to exercise what we call in law ex tempore, meaning that he can hear the arguments and make his judgment today without getting into details or the reasons as to why he arrived at that judgment. The other option would have been, or would be, he can listen to the argument and give another date for him to come back and give the verdict or the judgment.
So just looking at what's expected to happen in court today, the former president's team filing a special plea in terms of Section 106 of the Criminal Procedure Act. And it seems that they now want the state prosecutor to be removed, Advocate Billy Downer, the lead prosecutor in this particular case. So on what grounds can they possibly have the lead prosecutor be removed?
It's a very difficult mountain to climb, in the sense that some of the issues that they may be raising may relate to the previous cases that have been decided. But in short, in South Africa, we have the TRICA system, where a prosecutor has a responsibility to access intelligence, to investigate and prosecute. So it's very difficult to say that a prosecutor is biased, because he takes it as his life to make sure that he wins the case. So that's the objective of prosecution, is to win the case and to make sure that there is justice. So it's a very difficult, so it's more subjective than anything else. So the judge will have to listen to both parties and come up with a decision as to whether there is merit in the application or not merit. In which case, if there is merit, then that would be, or the judgment will be in favor of the former president. But if it is not in favor of the former president, one would expect a situation where the former president would make an application or make an application for leave to appeal on the very same judge, and the same judge can say the other court may not see different from what I have seen, in which case the former president would petition the presidents of the province, that is the judge president of the province, or alternatively the president of the SCA.
So, as you say, Dr. Vimba, this is rather subjective. But Zuma's team also went on to say that they believe that Advocate Downer will be unable to conduct a lawful prosecution, as they put it, and therefore the state would be unable to uphold his constitutional right to a fair trial. So what does that mean, if you unpack the legalese for us in that?
Well, what it simply means is that the likelihood is that the former president will make an application and say that his right to fair trial will be trapped into if Billy Downer continues to be the lead prosecutor. Remember, he is not the only one in the case. He is just leading a team of other prosecutors to prosecute the former president. Then the issue of the prosecutor without a title, it's where you are able to prove that there is biasness, there is going to be lack of impartiality on the part of the prosecutor. And I was saying that it's subjective in the sense that at the end of the day, the reason why the prosecutors follow the tracker system in terms of gathering intelligence, investigating and prosecuting is to make sure that they win the case on behalf of the state and ensure that there's justice. So what is going to be very difficult, because with the assertions that they may not get a fair trial, it simply means that the prosecutor does not decide the case. It is the judge. So that would also mean that they don't have that much trust on the judge, that whatever the prosecutor will be bringing before the court, then the judge can make an objective decision or can make a good judgment of the facts in front of him.
Well, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you so much, Dr. Mkhuseli Vimba, legal analyst, about what we can expect from former President Jacob Zuma's court appearance later today. And the SABC team out in full force at the Pietermaritzburg High Court, and we'll be able to bring you that as it unfolds. Right now, though,